Hello guys, welcome back to a new video of Team Talks. We're still in Web Summit and today we have Mohammed, which is the CEO of Educately. So can you explain better to the viewers what Educately serves?
Yeah, we simply say it like that. Educately, we're building for education what LinkedIn built for jobs. If you think about it, LinkedIn built the world professional network, and we have a lot of social networks like TikTok and Facebook and so on. So we aspire to build the world educational network, where we have literally every school in the world, and then we have every student, every language course, scholarship, and then every student, professor, and then we use technology to connect them together.
What you would say was like the main advantage for teenagers to download or to have your platform?
Right. So the thing is, at certain point, and you guys are a great example, right? At 16, 17, a little bit earlier, you come into a stage where you want to decide what is your future career, right? And then how your educational path would help you to achieve that. So those are very big decisions that you take usually when you're very young. And I had the same problem. My co-founders had the same problems. And usually we find out that most people choose their educational path on something and then they do work something else. Like I'm an engineer, but I'm not doing engineering. That's almost 73% of the global workforce. So that was something that really got me excited in terms of like, how can we help people when they're younger to discover their area of passion and then how that could relate to their education path later. And Educately is a platform that help you just do that. Help you decide what to study, where to study, in a more informed way.
Um, so where do you find this passion to help other people to find their passion?
Right.
So when you had this idea, this click, I'm like, oh, I want to do this.
Right. So the thing is, when you face a problem, when you have a challenge, so when I choose my educational path, so I did engineering and then I did my master, and my master was my first time to choose something I really care about, and it talks to my passion, my area of passion, and that changed my entire life. So my whole life have been different from that point. So that means my education, my connection with people, the countries I lived in, and I saw the impact. So that somehow give you the trigger that if that's offered to other people, that can amplify the impact and give them the opportunity to do just the same. And I think if you love something, you love to offer it to other people, right? You got fulfillment by just seeing the struggles that you faced is being solved for other people. So that's was the spark of starting Educately.
Who would say it inspired you to create this platform?
Um,
Like maybe a person or maybe a class?
right. Well, I would say it was a personal issue,
Mm-hmm.
was a personal struggle itself, and and living the differences and living the impact of solving that issue was an inspiration because I was lost at certain point. You know, when you're lost, you don't know why you're existing. You know what is your message or your mission in life. That feeling is not good because if you wake up every single day, you don't know what you want to do or what you should be after. It's not a good feeling, and that feeling was with me for some times. And when I realized the difference, the contrast of that feeling is like when you discover your passion and then you map your life, you center your life around that passion. So your job is around your passion, you do what you love, the people around you is literally supporting you to do that. Your life is becoming so much different, and that's an inspiration. That journey is an inspiration. And then the thing is, that was a personal story that maybe the triggers. But then as I met people, so my co-founder had the same issue, people around me, a lot of them have the same issue. So every time I see someone that is turning from just doing a job because you just have to do a job to get a salary and so on, and doing a job because you really like it, that makes the inspiration continue.
Yeah. So you're always trying to find people with the same issue and trying to solve that problem.
Absolutely. I think this is one of the biggest problem humanity face. So if you think about it, we're 8 billion people on the planet, right? And those 8 billion people, it doesn't matter if you can find one person, let's name whatever, like you can find one person like Elon Musk, for example, the influence of that individual, or Cristiano Ronaldo for football. You have here in Portugal, right? He's so passionate about football. I want you to imagine Cristiano doing law, or doing engineering.
Yeah.
You see the differences?
Uh-huh.
It's big, right? Like his impact potentially is nothing. But if you put a Cristiano in something he really likes, like football, he becomes Cristiano
Mhm.
with all the impact. Like he's an iconic figure in Portugal. So that's for me is fascinating. If we're capable to do this with everyone in the world, I imagine everyone knows what exactly trigger them and get them passionate. That the world will be much different.
So I have a question about the platform. So imagine I log in, create a
Yeah,
new account. So how do I personalize to make what I exactly want to do? So like
yeah,
imagine I want to do economics. So how do I personalize? I want to search for the best economic schools in I don't know England. How do
right.
I do that?
Very, very cool. When you enter and you create a profile in Educately, we try to help you answer two questions. Very simple, right? The first question is what to study. So you want to study engineering, business, economics, you want to study computer science or whatsoever, and then where you study. So to your question, where do you study? So there is, for example, hundreds and hundreds of universities that you can study economics on. So which one is good for you? Is it in Portugal? Is it in the UK? Is it in England? Or what? Or US and so on and so forth. So what we did is, what we do for students is we have a place where you have every university in the world in one place. So today we have over 18,000 educational institutions or universities have a profile in Educately. So instead of you just jumping all around to find which university I would like to go for and so on, so for going from this website, we collected all of this in one place. So you can search all of them, all their programs in just one place. And just by having transparent access, then you have the options,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you can compare them those options by thing that has a tuition fees that fits you. So there's one $10,000, one $50,000,
Mm-hmm.
and then the location, is it on campus, online, and so on and so forth, and a lot of other criteria. So we help you to compare. So one of the big things we did is gathering all of this amount of data in one place and make it simple for search. And then in the other side, we build using technology, stuff like LLMs and AI, to personalize the way you can search those data. Because there's a lot of programs in business. There's over like 30,000 programs in business. How can we use AI to personalize this experience for the business opportunity that fits you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you have a certain budget, you have a certain career you want to go for, and so on and so forth. So if our model understand your personality and what you're looking for, it will tailor the search component for you as an individual. And of course, one big component we do also is I can connect with other students.
Yeah.
So part of the search experience is not only through text based and so on. We help you to search through other people
Yeah.
experiences. So you're a student here in Portugal, you want to see other students in Portuguese students that probably studied in the US or studied in
Mm-hmm.
the UK or studied in this university in Portugal. Then you speak to them and you see how's their experience on and so on. Why we're doing all of that? Because we want you, when you do that decision of where to study,
Yeah.
what is the place to study in, you're informed. You're not just like picked one out of nothing.
Um, so since you work with universities and all, and you know like pretty much the algorithm, would you where you would say is the best location you could study in your
Very hard,
opinion?
very hard question because yeah, there's great place like really great universities everywhere in the world.
Yeah, of course.
We work with universities in Portugal, for example, and we have over 1,000 partners across the whole globe. So if I want to pick destinations, of course, that varies because quality education, okay, you have top ranked universities,
Mm-hmm.
top 10, but how many students those could take? Not a lot, right? So what I would say is, of course, you have very good destinations, including US, UK, and quality institutions that offer really very sophisticated educational paths to people. But that's not limited to them, because one of the things that transformed my life is not only what I get inside the classroom, is what I get also outside of the classroom. So I did my master in Italy, and the experience for me is not only what I get in the classroom, it's
Mm-hmm.
about the people that I met outside the classroom, inside the classroom, what we do after the classroom, how I'm being independent, relying on myself, just going out of my family home, doing everything for myself, fixing my problems myself, diversity of people around me that widen my perspective about the world, and so many more. So it's actually just jumping out of your comfort zone, going anywhere. I think that's a big part of the quality of the experience you're getting. University would play a part. So if you're able to find something that you study because it really touches your passion, then the real experience are complete. But in any way, you're definitely going into a transformative experience.
So going back to the topic of your company, right? What
Right.
you would say is the biggest challenge in creating a company?
Hmm. The biggest challenge, because look, statistics, facts, most companies that start, over 90% of them will die in a few years. So that's fact, right? So this means that there are few, actually, less than 10% would continue.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, in my belief, those ones that continue has certain parameters. One of them is you start a company when you actually have a problem to solve, number one, and that problem is relatable to you. So it's related to you, right? So I'm passionate about helping people to connect and helping to connect to their passion. And that's something that I'm waking up every single day I want to do because I don't feel like I'm working, right? So if I don't like what I'm doing and I'm just starting a company because I want to get money, I want to get rich, whatsoever,
Mm-hmm.
probably I have less chances to scale this up. So I think the essence of starting a company is believing in what you're doing and having it something or being obsessed about what you're doing, and just have patience because it takes time.
So talk about the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the achievements. So, what you would say is your biggest achievement in your company so far?
I think one of the biggest or biggest achievements was like, of course, we raised a couple of investments. We crossed almost 4 million users.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So we actually have a lot of great accomplishments, and we have a brilliant team, over 80 people right now. But one of the biggest is navigating the COVID and post-COVID timing,
Mm-hmm.
where there was scarcity in cash. There was a lot of company dying because there was not a lot of enough resources, and startup, the fuel is the money you have. So
Yeah.
if you run out of money, even if you're a great idea, you're gone. So you're gonna have to be really sharp on how you manage to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And our ability to survive this timing, I think, is one of the greatest thing in the last period, honestly, because now we raised another round. We tripled the organization. We're working on scaling what we're doing. So we're really seeing a big momentum afterwards.
Um, so your your company can have very similar features to LinkedIn.
Yeah,
So what do you say is the main similarities and the differences from LinkedIn?
right. I worked in LinkedIn. Okay,
Oh.
I stayed like 3 years and having LinkedIn, and that's destiny. And that's why I'm telling you. Sometimes it's God destiny. You put you in the place where you really that's the best place to be. So I joined LinkedIn without even thinking about it. And I seeded Educately within LinkedIn. So it was a seed idea into LinkedIn until we raised the first investment. Then I quit LinkedIn to be full time. And I think we got a lot of inspirations from LinkedIn. So LinkedIn transformed the way people apply to jobs
Yeah.
and the career industry in general, right? So there's a lot of similarity. I think that has to be mimicked in the educational zone, the educational ecosystem, right? So I wouldn't say there is similarity and differences. I would say those guys, LinkedIn, have did a big digital transformation to the job market, the career market, and we're doing just that in the educational sector.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of similarities on the vision, but not like feature level. Or well, of course, would be different because those are jobs, those are programs, universities. Those are companies that looking for people to hire. Those are universities looking for students to study. So there is similarity in the path, but both have that common note. Like we're digitally transforming our sector.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
So just to finish off the interview, what you would say is the biggest advice to young teenagers in creating a company?
I think the biggest advice, if I come back with time, is I wouldn't settle with something that I'm not really passionate about. I will keep searching because it's not easy. It takes time, and this time is for you to know yourself. You need to know yourself more, self-discover yourself, and sometimes the environment around you doesn't help you, including your family. Sometimes your family might sometimes doesn't help you. For example, a lot of parents will want their kids to be a doctor or an
Mm-hmm.
engineer, but maybe they are a great artist or a
Yeah.
great photographer, and that's their area of passion. So my biggest advice is never settle with something that is not your passion. It's not igniting you. It's like you don't wake up every single day and you feel like, oh my god, I want to do this, I want to do this. If you're not there, just keep searching. And that, if you arrive there, whether you will build a company, whether you will be part of a company, whatsoever what you're going to do, but I'm just assuring you, you will be something big, and you will be happy, you'll be fulfilled with what you're doing.
Wow, that's some very good advice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Do you
you.
have any final words to the viewers?
Thank you. Honestly, I have to say, great job for you guys. You're doing a fantastic thing, because what I just said, and that what I just said, the advice, what you're doing in the podcast here is helping people to realize this, because part of it is just seeing other people's journeys and get inspired from them. There's a lot of similarities. So I give you big kudos, honestly, to you and your team. You're still very young, and I see it's a bright future for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye bye, guys. See you next time.